Coach, 2005 comes along, the first official varsity equestrian national championship that you guys had. The sport's continuing to build momentum, adding programs, gaining more legitimacy in the collegiate athletics landscape, and you guys are national champions. The Hunt Seat team dominated, and together with the Western team, overall national champions. To win the first one, that's something that nobody can ever do again, and it's something that has to make you really proud.
Yeah, very proud. And again, too, for me, Dr. McGee, our athletic director at the time, he is the one who really initiated the equestrian program at the University of South Carolina, and we were the first major Division I school to add equestrian. So I still remember calling him on the phone when we were driving. The championship was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I still remember driving as we were heading to the airport and calling him and letting him know that we had won the championship, and he was extremely excited about it. For us, it was the format was still following the IHSA format somewhat, so it wasn't quite the same. We changed it the next year. However, it did provide us with the opportunity to have all the varsity schools come in, the ones that weren't sure whether they wanted to remain in the IHSA, be a part of the NCEA, or do both. And so it gave us the opportunity to have a competition. We did not travel horses during that time, so and New Mexico State was the host, and it was really up to them to get the horses in for us to compete. They did a great job. You can't beat Santa Fe, New Mexico as a place to go and compete, and it really was an exciting first competition. It's funny when at the end this huge storm came up because they wanted to do all this grandiose award ceremony and things like that, and this giant storm came up, and so we had to do all the awards presentation inside. So we really don't have many good pictures from that era because we were in this dark covered arena that didn't have any lights. So it was a fun time. Joe Humphrey had come on as an assistant coach. That was he was my first assistant coach, and he was in charge of the Western team. So I think he had a lot to do with us being competitive, or being more competitive on the Western side, and made our team just a little bit more cohesive. So it was fun. We had no idea we were winning or had won until like the last horse came out of the ring, and I remember receiving a phone call from another coach saying, I think you just won this thing, and I didn't believe him at first because I was like, no way, and then when it all came to fruition that we indeed had won the championship, and it was very exciting. The girls had a great time, and for me, it goes down as one of the highlights of my career here.